Hey, what is up everyone? DiscussionVerse here to go over the new official weapons trailer that is just absolutely batshit insane. And if you weren't already hyped after Barbarian, it's time to get yourself strapped in, as Weapons looks seriously demented while remaining mysterious and is shaping up to be one of the greater horror movies for 2025 and years to come. Now, before we go any further, this is your friendly reminder to smash that like button, to drop your comments down below, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button. Then don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you never miss a new video. With that out of the way, let's get right into this. With Weapons, we know that it is going to be set in the eerie town of Maybrook, and the Weapons official trailer opens with the child's voiceover explaining how at exactly 2:17 a.m. every child in Mrs. Grandy's class except one woke up, walked into the darkness, and vanished. It's a premise that hooks you instantly, and that scene is brought to life with haunting precision in the trailer. And the trailer itself does not overwhelm with answers, but what it does give us is pure unease and chaos, and that's exactly the point, as Creggers' eye for dread shines here, showcasing strange, disjointed images and atmospheric horror that feels earned. For example, if you pay attention to a certain shot of the children's legs while they're walking, they start to slowly sink into perfect rhythm, and that's an uncanny visual suggesting something larger is at play for the overall narrative of Weapons. Now, within the trailer, we see Julia Garner's character, Justine Grandy, or Mrs. Grandy, who is now becoming a target of suspicion, especially from Josh Brolin's character, Asher. He is a father consumed by grief and looking for someone to blame for the disappearance of his son Matthew amongst the other children, and he does point that blame towards Mrs. Grandy. Now, we also know that Benedict Wong is going to be playing the school principal named Matthew, who is advising Mrs. Grandy to step away as the town starts to spiral and target her. Meanwhile, the mystery of the missing children starts to unfold into something far bigger. Rounding out this cast is going to be Alden Ehrenreich as Paul, a local cop that's torn between duty and his complicated relationship with Mrs. Grandy. We also know that Austin Abrams is going to appear as a character named Anthony, while Carrie Christopher is portraying Alex as the only child in the class to not disappear. We also know of Amy Madigan joining this cast, June Diane Raphael, Clayton Ferris, Whitmer Thomas, Toby Huss as the sergeant in the police force, and Luke Speakman as Archer's son Matthew. It's also interesting to note how Creggers has gone on record saying this mystery only propels the first half of the film. The midpoint apparently ushers in far crazier shit. That's saying something, because towards the end of the trailer, the creep factor really does skyrocket. Creggers has also gone on to say how Weapons is, quote, an incredibly personal story, even going on to say how there's certain chapters of this that are legitimately autobiographical that I feel like I lived. Now, obviously, Creggers didn't grow up in a town where kids started attacking everybody and killing everybody, but it's safe to say that there are certain moments, probably with the main kid character, that he aligns with, and I'm excited to see how that plays out and how that fits into the larger narrative. We do also know that he declined to confirm or deny whether this film has any true connection to Barbarian. He did say, quote, I don't want to definitively say any way or the other. With the trailer, we catch flashes of ghostly, clown-faced kids, a woman stabbing herself with a fork, zombie-like teens crashing through the windows, indicating they're the children now changed. We also see someone vomiting tar-like goo into another person's face, and glimpses of adults also acting erratic and violent, hinting that whatever affected the children may now be spreading. And then, with a blink and you'll miss it moment, we see a figure that may match the female clown referenced in the CinemaCon footage, though reports suggest that moment may have been removed or altered for the public cut. Interestingly enough, when Mrs. Grandy walks into the classroom during the dream sequence and sees the kids face down in a very creepy way until one of them looks up and smiles at her with makeup on, that makeup does look very much like this creepy female clown-like character that we see in the trailer, and we know that was reported from the CinemaCon footage. The trailer itself does a really great job with this orientation, as there's quick cuts, warped imagery, and characters who seem just barely in control. Creggers calls the film an incredibly personal story, and while he stayed vague on whether it connects to Barbarian, the DNA of psychological horror and societal breakdown is unmistakable. With the interactive element in the companion website maybrookmissing.net that mimics local news articles and missing person reports, bringing fans deeper into the lore and creating a sense of real-time dread. The reported multi-story angle is really genius, and I'm excited to see how that plays out within Weapons, especially when they say to think Magnolia but through a horror filter. It's clear how Weapons is aiming for an epic horror story overall and not just the single scare gimmick. Part of me does feel like this will be equal parts Magnolia and Pulp Fiction, in the sense of us getting different perspectives of the overall narrative and seeing how all those interconnected storylines come together for the big climax of the movie. And I feel like that's a really fun part of this movie, is going to be guessing whose perspective we're going to see unfold in the Weapons movie when it comes out August 2025, as we for sure know that one of the perspectives must be from Mrs. Grandy, the teacher, who is caught in the middle of all this and being thrown the blame to. We would also expect to see Josh Brolin's character Asher, as he is a grieving father whose son is amongst the kids that did go missing that day at 2:17 a.m. And finally, it would have to be Alex, who was the only kid who did not go with the rest of the class during that fateful morning at 2:17 a.m. And I really do love that the trailer gives us some answers, but it still remains cryptic enough to not let us figure out what exactly exactly the plot is going to be for weapons, as there's still plenty of questions as who or what is controlling the kids and cause them to leave their beds and their homes at 2:17 a.m. that fateful Wednesday morning. And then the question is, with who or whatever got the children to get out of their bed, how did they do it? Is there some sort of supernatural element involved, magic, witchcraft, serial killer, kidnapping related stuff, or maybe all of that rolled into one? Who knows with Zach Creggers? Whatever the truth is, Weapons is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious horror films of the year. It's very evident with the trailer that we have only scratched the surface for this multi-story horror epic. And for any of you horror fans out there, I would highly recommend marking this down on your calendar, coming out in August 2025. That being said, that does wrap up my thoughts and theories. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and friendly reminder for you to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, click subscribe and then turn on that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Until then, this has been DiscussionVerse. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.